Thank you. Good morning. I hope everybody's having a good time. I must tell you, it's pretty chilly back here, so I'm glad I brought my sweater with me. What could be more important than money? Well, actually, quite a lot of things. When we look back in the 1980s at the savings and loan crisis, we look at the 90s in the NAFTA, in the North America Free Trade Association, we look at the 2000s with the banking and loan crisis, we find that one of the problems was that the construct that was acted out was about the them and us. There was a minority who cared about money, and they did not care about the majority of people. And what we find is in the us and them situation, we have to learn in any transaction it's about doing less and being more. And what do we mean by that? It's about being present. It's about being present to the participants. When we start to treat people with grace and respect, we can have increased profits still honoring the other person. We can have it can be a pleasant place to be working in, to go to school, to conduct business. But to do that, we need to be present. We all hear about everybody that can multitask, everybody that can juggle things. Well, when we juggle things, what we find is that we cannot pay attention and be aware of the other people in the dialogue, other people in the process, so that numbers and money become more important than the people involved in any transaction. For any of us in business, any of us in corporations, wherever we work, it turns out from a lot of research that we're actually motivated by far more than money. We like to feel appreciated. We want to feel a connection to others. We want to be trusted and accepted. We would like to have a certain amount of happiness at work. But of course, there is a shadow side to money and what motivates us. In the 1980s, David Stockman, who was Ronald Reagan's Secretary of Commerce, talked about trickle-down economics. And many years ago, I asked the question, okay, I understand the concept, but what trickles up? We actually find that greed and fear trickle up. And in a capitalist, materialist world, people become greedy for possessions. There are many people here who might be greedy for knowledge, greedy for understanding, greedy for academic qualifications. And we're all afraid. We're afraid of certain things. We are afraid of maybe how we're going to put a roof over our heads for our family. We might worry about our retirement. We might worry about our career. One of the challenges that existed was that in the transactions in the capitalist system, we had people who felt spiritually empty, who needed material possessions and money to fill the void. And they felt that if we fill the void with money, then we will feel happy, we will feel good. But no matter how many times you fill that void, you will never fill it. You will continue to feel empty. And there will be no energy flow between the individuals where they feel connected. There will be a lack of synergy. So that in the corporate boardroom, they can look at a spreadsheet, at a balance sheet and say, we need to fire 1,000 people. That doesn't mean anything. That's families. That's people who need to pay the rent. That's children. Those are people, and they have to worry, they will worry about that. How are they going to survive? When people begin to be whole, where their spirits are filled and they're not empty, we start to see energy that flows. And it becomes a symbiotic relationship. If a CEO has to fire 1,000 people, he may say, let's see if we can adjust the business model so we don't have to do this. Because business inherently is actually very inefficient. In this standard model, we've all heard the idea of the 1% and the 99%. There is a disconnect in the socio-economic model between the CEO at the top and the people at the bottom. There is a disconnect at a soul level. We are not seen, as I am blinded by the lights here on the stage, so I can't see you. So the CEOs and the corporate executives are blinded by profits and the value, the share value of a company. They're blinded to the reality of what happens on the shop floor. As part of the cathartic experience for me, for many years I worked in the music industry in New York at Sony Music as a technologist. And as part of that desire to make a difference, make a change, and redress the balance, I decided to write a musical comedy about corporate corruption. And it's called Company Matters. And the beginning of the musical, the Company Matters is about the company and the business and the profits. By the end of the musical, Company Matters is about the company that you keep. Not just about profits, but about people. And when we look at a balance sheet, it's more than money. It's about the well-being of all. It's not just the shareholders. And when we can embrace ourselves, when we can embrace our spirits, our souls, so then we can reach out and embrace others and see them not just as a number on a spreadsheet or a balance sheet. The balance sheet, the balance beam. We are so out of balance in our own lives and also in the corporate life, where the 99% work hard, often doing 2 jobs, trying to take care of a family, and all that effort goes to the benefit of the few. So Company Matters. So could you play the audio, please?
This is my company. This is my place. Do what I tell you, or I'll be in your face. I am the boss, and I'll have it my way. I have the power. Just do what I say.
This is our company, this is our place. Do what is right, and we'll do it with grace. Working together, having a blast.
So as you saw at the beginning, this is my company, this is my place. Do what I tell you, or I'll be in your face. That is no way to connect with somebody at a soul level. This is our company. This is our place. We'll do what is right, and we'll do it with grace. And at the end of that small snippet, the office manager who becomes the new CEO after the original CEO ended up in prison because he was cooking the books, just like many other people we've heard about and read about. She understands that by doing less and being more, after all, we are human beings. We're not human doings. And no matter how much money we have in the bank, it cannot help us to connect with each other when we are present with integrity, when we can trust each other and have empathy, when we are connected at a soul level. Magic happens. More than money, it is being connected. and the staircase on the socio-economic ladder. So many steps to climb on these stairs, each one pushed far apart. Difficult to jump between them. We see people at the top. How did they get there? Maybe they had a rope. Throw down the rope. Let us come up and join you. No answer. So I say to you in finishing up, it's more than just a job. It is more than just money when company matters. And I say, throw down the rope of compassion. Throw down the rope of connectedness, no matter where you are on the socio-economic ladder, and reach out to each other, because we can make this wonderful country a magical place. Thank you.